1984, Los Angeles was a city with two faces. One for the world, about the city of angels, and one for the residents, about the plague of the devil.
They called it rock cocaine. From about 1984, when it first took hold in LA, it hit the ghetto like a forest fire, and it was all over the inner city.
In the summer of 1984, Jamaica Thompson was on top of the world.
At that time, it was nothing for me to have 50 kilos of cocaine.
She and her husband, a hustler and gambler known in the neighborhood as Daff, had become a high-powered couple in the hood.
Jamaica knew that she wanted money. She wanted success. She wanted stature. You know, she wanted to be powerful. And for a woman in that era, that meant smashing through a whole lot of barriers.
I went over to her house, and she had a Ferrari, a turbo Porsche. I mean, every car that you could ever fantasize about. A brand new swimming pool. She had a housekeeper. She had everything that most women dream about. Like the reality shows that are going on now, that's like Jamaica been there, done that. I mean, years ago.
Money was my power. Money was my control. And that's what controlled me, the money. And I wanted the money.
But in the summer games, played in South Central in 1984, there wasn't enough money in the world to keep the wolf from the door.
I never thought that I would lose Daff.
The worst of the violence hadn't yet kicked in.
Somebody got killed in the game. It was chalked up to the game because that's the choice you made. It could have been me that got taken out.
After the death of her husband, she starts to travel around. She's spreading out across the country.
Whenever it was a fight in Las Vegas, I always made it my business to be at the fights. And all the drug dealers from all over the world were at the fights. And so I met a lot of connections.
She chose men and charmed them, cultivating suppliers and buyers.
These were multi-millionaire guys, and these are notorious guys who most people were very intimidated by. She was just on a whole nother level.
Nobody knew who I was. Most of the men I met, I had more money than them, but they didn't know it.
She had connections all over, you know, the South, Atlanta, Detroit, Illinois, St. Louis.
I felt like the world was mine because now I'm doing it by myself.
She chased the money to a major buyer, a man she started dating in Illinois, known as Cheese.
That was his nickname. He was a musician, and he opened up a very profitable connection in Illinois.
Percy Braddon. And Percy Braddon becomes one of her best customers. And from 88 to 89, he's taking from her a pound coke, 2 pounds, 3, 5, 8. He ends up taking about 33 pounds over a little over a 2-year period, which is great sales, but it left a trail that eventually came down to haunt her.
Cheese kept on calling me, but I just didn't feel comfortable with talking to him anymore.
After traveling the world, the Queenpin got tired of going back and forth for her money to Alton, Illinois. Population, 25,000.
She had him start to wire it through Western Union, which of course leaves a trail. Now, there's not a lot going on in Alton, Illinois, so therefore they don't have 400 cases to worry about. There are no narco-traffickers running around. There are no Islamic fundamentalists. So the DA and the FBI, they see these payments going out, they picked up on it right away.
We got quite a few Western Union money orders going from various members of the Bratton organization to Jamaica Mosley.
In April 1991, she was indicted on federal drug conspiracy and money laundering charges.
Once the indictment comes down, she's gone. She actually disappears, leaves her son. It tells you how serious this is.
At that time in my life, I carried a gun in my Chanel purse daily. I had to do what I had to do to protect me, and at any cost, I was ready.
With the money she'd made, she could have stayed out forever, but she put herself at risk. The Queen Pin came home.
She makes the mistake a mother would make, because a good trafficker would never have allowed her feelings for her son to get in the way of staying free from the law. She comes back to California for his graduation from school in 1993, and she puts on a wig and everything else so no one will see her.
I called up the school to find out when a graduation date was going to be, and the school told me.
It was an inner feeling that I felt that, like, something wasn't right. What it was, I didn't know. The FBI came and told me, don't make a scene. You're under arrest. So I just asked the guy, I said, can I please just hug my son? And he let me hug my son. And they took me away, and they walked me to the car. And I can remember just looking back, you know, and I can see my son crying.
In court, without the designer clothes and Italian hair, Jamaica Thompson was found guilty of conspiring to distribute cocaine and money laundering.
People were desperate. That's what took Jamaica down. Jamaica was never caught with drugs. She wasn't caught on a wiretap. She wasn't caught doing a drug deal. But other people were staring these 10-plus year prison sentences in the face, and they cut deals, and they pointed fingers at her in court at her trial. And that's what brought her and so many other people like her down.
Just before Christmas, 1993, the Queen Pin was given 15 years of hard time. At the time of her sentence, she was 31 years old.
I would watch all the sports in prison. And one day they was showing skateboarding, and I just was watching it. And they said, Anthony Mosley, pro skateboarder Anthony Mosley. And then I'm looking, and he looks identical to me, and I just started hollering and just going screaming. And I'm like, that's my son, that's my son.
He's won skateboarding competitions across the world.
He didn't think it was all that big, but I just said, well, you know, I was blessed that he was a skateboarder and doing something that was legit, you know, and not doing what I was doing or what I did in my past.
In 2005, Jamaica Thompson became a free woman again. Having served 13 of her 15 years, she came back home to South Central.
When she got out, she established a ministry, you know, appropriately titled Second Chance Evangelist Ministry.
She is now an evangelical minister, helping people who have had drug addictions, who have had problems, who get out of jail, who can't find a job. So here's somebody who became a queen pin and was good at it and would have kept growing. But when it all fell apart and she did the time, she was able to come out and be reborn.
She's put her story in a book entitled Queen Pin, a memoir.
I'm here today to tell somebody else that you don't have to do what I did. You don't have to be like the other kids in the neighborhood. I had a second chance.
I hope that is the case, that if she wants to put this behind her and reach out to others, that is great. Certainly, I think she's capable, but she was a very significant drug dealer. She got 14 years in prison, and I feel that she was lucky to get the 14 years.